Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm your host, Sir Stephen Topham the third at your service. We're going to talk about some stories today because we're going to talk about these stories, some of these stories to tell in very identification of truth. Very truthful. No lies, no deceits. As a lot of you understand my story quite well by now, how my family is all connected to a lot of stuff. Don't get me wrong, even the movies, even the other TV shows, and etc., they all connected. And people are now saying, what has happened to the North Norfolk Railway? Why the North Norfolk Railway failed? They always failed on you, right? But now I'm going to give you a little bit of detail. How old are we? And we're going to go through all the stories included, and we're going to tell you specifically. It starts from book 32 onwards for me, so you'll see the progression. Yes, I lived with my mother, Dr. Hatt, which is no lie, at Crosby, obviously, in West London. And the first things first, this will intrigue the cops as well, and I want them to write notes and everything else because it's all realistic. No fake, no details, no nothing. Overall, I've been on the railway since I was 5 years old, being on Toby and the gentleman, of course, being my grandfather and myself, obviously. And then people start asking biggest questions of all, left, right, and centre, going down the line. And a lot of people saying, right, let's talk about some of these stories because some of these stories has a lot of facts and details in front of you, right? The people that were booted out of North Norfolk Railway in 2019 all knew the truth, right? The railway, the North Norfolk Railway, is closing down slowly. Not now, it will slowly close down because it has got nothing to offer. Because they lost respect. But I'm going to get you to the point where I will need to get to the stories. So I'm trying to reliberate on what you see is what you get, right? But at the same time, the North Norfolk Railway is giving out too much disrespect. That's the honesty part of it. And I'm going to tell you why. It's so long ago in the 1950s and the 1960s, right? We had the same scenario problem. This is why 2019 is reacting everything else up, stirring the pot, making sure it doesn't go corrupted, deceitful, evil, all of that. Bang, bang. But the problem is, a lot of people didn't realise that. Let's take Duck's story first, shall we? Let's take Duck's story first, right? This is the best story you'll ever hear. It's Duck's story, right? Duck is a great Western engine, as we all know it. He was born on the 22nd of September 1963. He's only 20 years older than I am, right? So, Duck, the green engine, we all know and love, right? He had his fair share of problems, and so have I, right? Left, right, and centre. He was so proudful of everything he does, right? Making cakes, making food, working in hotel, the Great Western Hotel, when he was 14. And he progressed, Then he worked all in the Great Western Railway Company area, right? Which is the Western area, right? Wales, if you like to call it, the Wales area. And then progressed into Norfolk, into our area. So then everybody says, oh, I do this for this, and I do this for everybody, I do this for everybody. And now we're getting all the disrespect that happened before. Oh, let's start off with Thomas breaks the law when he didn't break the law as much, obviously. But that's another one. But I want to focus on Duck first, right? Because Duck's storyline has a reverse on me. So, when Duck used to be in his prime, in his pride, everybody liked him to a point, right? He brought me up, he raised me up as his own son, right? I'm his stepson, but I'm Stephen Topham Hatt the third. So, work it out. Then it all progresses forward. Bing, balla, boom. I hear, right, I bought a nasty diesel on the railway company, right? On the North Western Railway Company, which is in the North Norfolk Railway, right? This diesel is called Andrew Mudden and his wife. Those two, those powerful couple, were the evilest ones on the planet, right? Right? What happened was, this is where the middle piece that everybody's missing out on. Right? Diesel did a chore, a big type of chore. Right? Andrew Mudden did a big chore. Right? Right? Sydney was too unwell at the time, and Devious Diesel was so upbeat, but in the past, he was trying to blame Duck for everything. Duck had all his pride nearly taken away from him. Why? Well, let's start. Let's get into right to the next chapter of the story because it's really getting intense. Right, number two, which is another. Right, we all know Diesel's dirty handiwork. So what did he do in the past? Right, he blamed. He got Duck to be framed. So when Duck got framed, right, right, Duck said, right, I introduced him to Diesel, right, as it's supposed to be, right, and Duck said, I remember Diesel's old, only words. He said, "Your serve worthy top on hat wants me to learn, but we are revolutionary," he says. And bang! What happened to my stepfather Duck? He got dismissaled just a bit, if you would like to call it. Right? He got dismissaled a bit. Right? So, well, when Davis Diesel, who you know as Andrew Mudden, former NNR manager at the time, and I went to see him and I caught him in the eye, kicking out all my volunteers and staff. How would you like it if it went backfiring on you? Right? I caught him, right? Because Duck didn't want to get involved because he was too prideful, proud of helping all his other passengers, all his other customers. Right? Bang! Right? I let him do the job. Right? Davis Diesel then tried to get some trucks for Duck. Right? Can you remember they all said, we won't, we won't, we won't, because they're telling you, we won't, we won't. And I'm seeing it all unfolded in my eyes. And I saw it with my own eyes. Right? Even if it happened in the past, it was still progressing forward. It was going to say, I won't, we won't. And because what happened? The trucks got snapped. Right? And then Duck ending up getting his own truckload. Right? Says Diesel said, right? Anthony Mudden said, do you want these? And then Duck said, no, I've got these. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Right? And then the trucks start laughing and laughing and laughing and singing their hearts away to the heaven's content. Right? My stepdad did not do nothing wrong. Why? I knew it. Why? I paid attention. So, what happened to Duck? Right? Right? He done what he was meant to be doing, right? And it got him wound up. When it got Diesel so wound up, the truck starts singing, there we go, pop goes the Diesel. And then what happened? Then Andrew Mudden, right, who is actually Diesel's personality, He left the railway, right? But he hasn't finished the storyline yet. So what do you think he did? He went right onto my railway line, which is basically the other line, right? The Thomas Tank line. And do you know what he did? He took a truckload all the way to the actual, what you would call, Ding Dang a Gong on my Farquhar branch line, heading towards Toby's area. What happened? Oh, he was trying to out-weasel himself, right? And Toby said, you better be careful of him because he's getting too cocky. And he lied to you, sir. And I took notice of it straight away. So what happened? So when Anthony Mugden told a lie and being so deceitful at the same time, he also made Duck thought he was telling lies when the Duck was actually telling the truth on me, saying, I will never lie to you. And he told me that in front of my face. So what happened? Diesel thought he got away with it? No. He told the trucks these rumours, these lies, these deceits, all of them came all at one bundle. And then went on to Gordon, Henry, and Kings after all this time. And what happened? It happened again. But this time I was around, alive and well, making sure the railway was safe. But no, because James wasn't around, Gordon wasn't around, Henry wasn't around, they all got booted out one by one, right? Disrespectful, right? So they got pissed off, right? That's instant record lift. So while Duck was working that somewhere else, pleasing all the customers, guess what Diesel was trying to do? Boot out the fat controller. So what happens with the fat controller not on the line, right? Thomas did not do nothing wrong. He was happy. He knew he wasn't in the wrong. He was getting the truth. He was trying to be honest. And what happened? The cops always thought he was lying. No. Right? I pushed the trucks to give me the clue and the answer. So what happened? So when it was happening all in the past, ding, 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 it's all happened again. And you all seen it unfold again. And it really click, 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 click. Then people say, I went to Diesel, I got in, save the day. Right? I told Diesel, we don't want you on your railway, on my railway anymore. Because you've been lying and deceitful. I brought Duck back to the island and said, you're welcome here. Anytime, any place. So when the Duck got his pride back in check, then Gordon, Henry, James, Thomas, Edward, all of the main fleet said, we're all sorry. Why? So work it out. It's all facts. There's some truth there. There's a lot of truth there. Right? But you got to see it. So when you saw me got booted out and my fleet got booted out, who was a nasty person of them all? Diesel. So that was Anthony Mugden and his wife. So they broke the rules. They told, because Sydney was vulnerable and very unwell, may I add, the lie went spreading round the station. Lies, deceits. Are you going to accept that? No, I not me. Anyway, in any angle. So I'm not going to put up with it. Nor speak to you. You got rumours spread around the station, right? It all clicked, right? So when Duck ended up being the victim in all of this, right? He did not do nothing wrong. He's innocent. So Toby told me Diesel was lying, sir. I took Toby's word for it. Why? Because he's my best friend of the fleet. and the best one of them all. I would never say, how did you know that was happening? I said, wake up and smell the coffee. There's a lot of facts in this. I tell you, there's a lot of boundaries what Diesel's doing. So while he left the railway in this uncomfortable format, everybody's saying, oh, did you know the fat controller's gone cuckoo? And that's what's gone round the station. It's a lie because he couldn't get to Duck. So when Duck was safe and sound, who got the firework and caught him? I caught him first, red-handed. So when everybody says the fat controller did nothing wrong, that's true. But Diesel lied 4 times. So he was trying to get through to Gordon, Henry, James, and the fat controller. So work it out. So when I knew that my agents would never lie to me, Diesel's would. Right? So in the day, Duck was innocent, who you call Hamid Nibari. So when Hamid Nibari was so all innocent, he went, I'm alright, sir. That's what he told me. Bang. I knew he was innocent. I sent him to Edward. Right? Everybody knows this part of the story so well. I sent him to Edward's branch line, which is Wellsworth. He can't go there. Why? Because Diesel was on the platform. Diesel was lying to all the trucks, which is all the porters, all the guards, all everything. And it all unfolded so naturally. You let it play out. So while he was spreading the rumours, saying, I had a fat controller is this and this and found out about this and this and this, or he said this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and it went past the buck, and everything went round and round in circles. Then his wife added up the story as well, ding, 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 and then what happens? You're ending up, Sydney was the vulnerable one, so was I. So I became the victim, he became what you call, what I'm saying is, when you do something wrong, or you've been lied to, right, Diesel lied to Sydney. Sydney couldn't put it right because he's too unwell now. So now, I've just given you the answer that you were looking for. How did you know Duck was innocent? And then Thomas and myself, I would say, at Fat Controller as well, found out the truth, saying Toby told me. Because there's no lie in that. So if Toby's saying this, he told me, I don't think you should trust him, sir. And Diesel was trying to bubble his way out right now. Like always, trying to unbubbling it all out. But he was caught by me, by the act. So now, when it came to Duck, everybody, all my fleet, apologised to him. Because he did not do nothing wrong. He's been very helpful, very clear-headed, very smart, intelligent, everything else. Right? Everybody thought he went cuckoo some time ago. Then I added my pieces in, now I'm telling you. I said, I already knew about that because Toby told me. So Toby told me, so then I got Smith, and Diesel came back to me, and I told him, leave those trucks there, and let Toby take them now. Because he was caught by the cops for being deceitful, lying, Diesel as he is, anti-Mudden and his wife. Then you basically had Daisy trying to throw it all off as well. So work it out. what became of that story. You know, it was a close shave for Dirk. He could have got bollocked and not go on the premises anymore. I said, look, it's now the tables have turned and it's aimed at the Fat Controller. Diesel thought, I could do a better job than you. No, he couldn't. Because he was lying, he was deceitful, and he was spreading rumours like hell. He was lying. He was not being truthful with anyone. So all the trucks got really laughing at first, pop goes the Diesel and all of that. But then they got the rumours spread around, bloody hell, like nothing. This is Porters and the Guards on the Sheringham Station, Weybourne Station, Holt Station, all of those stations. Then it's hitting all around the world and the globe, and it's hitting all around the UK, and it's hitting them like fireworks, right? So who's innocent? So if you've been lied to, right, and you became the victim as well, so me and Sydney were victims in all of this. Sydney is not well. I'm now in charge, and I am now trying to clear my name. So who told me, down the line, who told me, in the other day, to begin with, who told me this time round? Toby may have told the story and told the actual ending of it, and he's told the truth, in one black and white. Emily told me, you did not do nothing wrong, you're innocent. And now that truth is now backfiring on you because I caught Diesel out. Because he was going up on my branch line when he shouldn't done. So then the cops are now going to intervene him because it's Andrew Mudland, his wife, and their colleagues. So now what happens in the middle? It's still a blank because they're still filling in the gaps. So work it out. So when Dirk is innocent, Gordon's innocent, Henry's innocent, James is innocent. So when Diesel couldn't get free to get, frame those three engines, he had to get to me. And I was only standing there, when I heard that Duck returned, I was happy and smiley and everything. That's true, sir. That's right, Thomas, at every angle. So I knew that Diesel was out of order. He was lying, he was deceitful, and then ending up making me and Sydney victims of the actual problem. So the cops came in, got the falsified information, which was misleading, and it ended up with one big problem. It turned out to be a small problem. So with Diesel out of the picture now, bang, bang, gone, right? Andrew Mudland's gone. Poof. Right? And when it comes to the bad apple, the story continues, and he comes back to the railway and he apologises to the guy. Which guy do you think he's going to apologise to first? Me first. Why? Because he was trying to aim for the Duck. The Duck was protecting me. So then you had Gordon, Henry, and James realising what was going on, and they ending up saying, we know it's not your fault, we know it's not your problem, it's their problem because they screwed up. So, I've just given you the actual background to Duck's life, without going into private details. So his story was a little bit what has already been said, right? But instead of that, unfoldedly, it was true, because he went to the barber shop, and I told him not to go into it. He was dressed up as a lady when he was younger, excuse my French, and in every day, he nearly had a close shave, because he had shaved his private parts by accidental, and then you're ending up with this bit of the timeline when you're actually getting the truth of the Fat Controller getting framed when he hasn't done nothing wrong. me. So you basically got one whole story there. Toby came back to me and said that Divas Diesel was this because it's all true. So now Divas Diesel, his wife, are gone. History. Daisy may have gone as well because she acted immaturely in front of Sydney when he's vulnerable. Now that's and being sexist on top. Work it all out. It's all coming to light now. So with all that being said, it's all true. So when you got the fact of caller sitting down waiting for you, you may find out with a few surprises that there will be good stuff heading your way for the Norfolk Railway. But as a North Western Railway company, as it stands out, it is going to work for the better because he got rid of the diesel. But he will come back because he will start losing brothers. Like everything with the diesel team, you get the drill. He had his few brothers and all of that, and he will come back, ending up saying, I'm sorry. Are we going to accept his sorry? No, because he keeps blowing it up. So when you think about it, it's all there in black and white, told you in truth. So when the story is unfolded in front of you and walks in fiction, it all ties together. So with Duck being one of the victims, ending up couldn't be a victim this time because it was aimed at the fact of caller third gen, me. So when it came to me, I got framed instead of Duck, and then Gordon and Henry and James. They never got. So you can see what I mean, don't you? So when Diesel in the past used to frame Gordon, Henry, and James for obvious reasons, then you find out, oh, rusty red scrap iron, square wheels, galloping sausage. Where do you think those names come from? They didn't come from Duck's mouth, that's for sure. It turned out that the final piece of that puzzle that Toby told me, even the trucks told me, he lied. He was deceitful. So when the Norfolk Railway thinks they got it all on a silver platter on a plate, I said, you've been lied to since 2019. Probably in 2018 as well, and 17 and 16 when I came back, and I saw the event unfold. So what happened? Diesel left the building with his wife, and then you ended up saying, where's Sydney? Too unwell to do the business role. So, you left with nearly 3 or 4 diesel team members left, right? Once they all go, the steam team can rise and get back to normality. But I'm still helping my steam team say keep your eyes and ears to the flow. So, with my steam team being so very useful, I like really useful engines. I don't like bullshitters. It's a word to express it. I said it's all bloody true. If you don't bloody believe me, watch season 4 and 5 and the specials. You will find out, oh shit, he knew about it. And I tell you something, I don't lie. You just got the truth, White Lamb, Crystal and Duck story. So now I just filled in the last piece of detail, how I found out that Duck was innocent. All this time, after all. So, the management of the Norfolk Railway have to reevaluate themselves again and said, I'm going to have to leave the railway because we got to have the fat controller up here because he's too honest, he's too helpful, really useful. That's what they will all come out with because they worked out that the porters and the guards got lied to in the end. So having a lie, being the victims, and then being the victim, one of the victims ended up being very ill and ending up being very insecure. So work it out. So you got me knowing all the story and knowing all the truth. I said, Duck is innocent. Toby told me that. So when Toby and Duck were all in the same packet show, Toby was always around and said, Duck is innocent. You see, the story is unfolding the way it should. The only problem is, now the North Norfolk Railway are probably going to sit down and have a cup of tea and say, what? He said this? Oh shit. They're going to leave the building because they've got no choice. They're going to have to say, oh crud, he worked it all out. So, when I said about the second generation, I told you I was watching with eyes and ears. Now it's all coming to light. So when Duck comes to you, or Hamid Jabari, as you know him, by real name, obviously, my stepdad, you will work out that last time that Gordon, James, Henry, and James all blamed Duck. Why? Because I had to send them to Edward's branch line. Unfortunately, because the story's been reversed and it's a little bit different, they targeted me. So, Diesel targeted me instead of Duck. So, work it out. With Duck out in the safe net, which I call it, it's a safeguard. I said, if you got a problem here, Diesel, talk to me about it. This is Anthony Mudland in my office. Right? Acting immaturely. Having all the paperwork for all the employers, the volunteers, the full whack. And saying, oh, they had problems with this, they had problems with that. Do you know what? What a load of BS. So, when Toby comes to me, he told me that Diesel was lying to you. And that's why I was cross with Diesel and said, you're fired from the railway. He left the railway in his own accord. But while all of this was happening and all the truth was unfolding for you, I said, the truth will set you free. And you have to learn it the hard way. So with Duck being innocent all this time, Gordon, Henry, and James got lied to, and then you're ending up with the biggest puzzle piece. Diesel was lying to everybody. So, basically, porters, guards that were trucks, they were all laughing and giggling at first, but it wasn't a laughing joke. It was a serious matter. Even my grandfather had to deal with it first. Then I have to do it with it. But this time, because Diesel can't target my grandfather, he targeted me, not Duck. So Duck is in the safe net. Means he's safeguarded. He may be prideful of his work, but at the end of the day, he always made everyone happy. He's the great Western engine you ever met on the planet. So when you think this is all a joke and it's nothing matter, ask yourself a question. Why did Toby come to me? Because Diesel was on my branch line, taking up the truckload. Then the cop comes along, and then they arrested him for not having cow cat plates on his sides. So what happens? I told Diesel, and eventually in the end, I told him, you can leave those trucks there and get off this part of this railway now. Diesel. And then when he lied to me that Duck did this, Duck did that, boom, 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 I wasn't going to accept any excuses from him. So I vanished him off the railway because I already knew who was innocent. So if Duck didn't do nothing, nor did I. So all those bloody rumours that you had for nearly 4 or 5 years in that station up there at the NWR, Norfolk Railway, get your heads cleared out and realise, oh shit. Yep, it will be all shite. Because it's all happened, all in truth, the way it should. So, there are more stories to tell. But I can only do so many at one time. So, with that being said, you really want to know why this has all been orchestrated the way it did? Because Diesel was after my grandfather and my great uncle at the same time, and he couldn't do it. He can't do the same trick twice. So he ended up booting me out because I was the grandson of the Fat Controller, first gen. So with all that being said and done, when he was trying to do it a second time, Diesel screwed up. So he lied to all the porters, the guards, the management, all of it. So when it all came back on me, I told my mother, no, this is not happening. This has not happened at all. I never did this, never did that, never been disrespectful. Bang. So guess who made all the lies then? Diesel did. So if it wasn't for Toby's backup, who was a witness, Toby said he's telling you more than you can think or handle. I said, I know what he's up to. He's been lying and deceitful. And that's what happened when I was at Farquhar Station with Toby. So I got off cross telling Diesel, get off my branch line and get off my railway. End story. So who came out clean? Duck and the Fat Controller. Third gen. So when you think about it, it's all played out in front of you. Wake up and smell the damn coffee. You know, it takes a little word to work out. Well, if he couldn't do the same trick twice, he had to do it differently the second time. So work it out. If he couldn't frame Duck because he was safeguarded, he targeted me. That's Devious Diesel, who's Anthony Mudden, the former manager of the Norfolk Railway. So work it out. It's all there in black and white. Thank you very much.